sins of this world. Abba, I ask that you may give us the strength to forgive one another, to love one another. And Abba, I ask that you may prepare us for the future, prepare us for war, prepare us for any plague that may come upon the earth. And Abba, I ask that you may give us the strength to help one another, but give us the wisdom to organize our household, to organize our minds. And I ask that you may put your words within us, and we may use it to our defense. I've asked that in the evil days that we may be spared, for our riches and our vehicles and our houses will not save us. But I ask that we may be saved by our righteousness, by your mercy. I've asked that you may please remember those who are sick and afflicted in the flesh. I've asked that you may heal them. And I've also asked that you may please remember those who are sick within their mind, within their ruach, their spirit. And I've asked that you may heal them. Heal us, O Yah, and we shall be healed. Save us, O Yah, and we shall be saved. I've asked that you may please remember those who may be on the fence, those who are contemplating, as they said, cast your word aside, but I've asked that you may hold them up with your right hand. Lead them on the righteous path of your name. And I've asked that you may purge us from all forms of evil, and ask that you may give us a clean conscience. I've asked that you may teach us how to get our minds in order. For if our mind is not in order, we cannot be fit servants for you. So I've asked that you may strengthen the men that I give on this call and those who are not on this call. For you know the things that we struggle with, you know our shortcomings. But I've asked that on this night that you may cleanse us and give us insight as we go into this season. Bless us with new ideas, with information that we can use to our defense. And I've asked that you may hear this tough of this prayer to be in your will. For it is your will that shall be done. Bless you are Yahweh, bless is your name, Yahweh. And bless all those who come in the name of Yahweh Israel. Amen, amen, so.
Man.
Amen,
All
amen.
right. Okay, I'm gonna set my timer. I ain't gonna be trying to go too long because we did, but we're gonna try to get over it. So, anybody new on the conversation that wasn't on last week, or did everybody remember what we was talking about last week? Anybody got any updates for this week as we going into this conversation? Anybody pick up maps? Anybody do any contacts this week? Anybody thought about it since last week? Anybody add any type of security to their food? Anybody talk to their family about anything that we talked about last week?
Yeah, so I me and Shalom, we spoke about preparing the group, not preparing the group, but talking over what's needed, and that me and him would first make contact, figure out the items that's required. He said he would speak with the leadership about it all, and then we will move forward with there. Just trying to take it one step at a time, make sure it's done in the right way, and yeah, just go from there. It's a start.
Okay. Hallelujah. Well, we want to get the map thing is what I know you said you wanted to do. So I want to see how soon we're going to start those map classes. But anybody else did any type of conversating from last week to this week? Or if you wasn't on the phone last week, do you know what we were
So
talking about?
I ordered an atlas because one thing I thought about, they do road changes, they tear buildings down, they do things, within the land. So I got an updated atlas. This one is from this year, 2023. So I guess as time goes by, I'll get a new one. And I asked a sales member. I think he's like 21, 22 now. And I said he's not in the walk. I said if the economy crash, what do you want to do? And he said, what do you mean? I said, let's say everyone's running in the stores, so it's kind of like you take whatever you can. And
Hey, Shy, I don't know if it's just me, but it's hard to hear what you're saying.
oh, okay. Y'all got a new Bluetooth. That's probably it. Uh,
It sounds clear on my end.
oh,
Okay, it might just be me then.
okay, okay. All right, told her about. Yeah, so I asked my cousin, what would he do? He didn't have an idea. He was like, I don't know. I'll just grab something in the store and just run somewhere. I said, run where? He said, I don't know. So, you know, I was just thinking about that, and that's kind of like the mindset of a lot of people. Um, and then, him being my family, he's gonna look towards me or someone who has, something in place for help. So it just kind of gave me a drive to, do more, not only for myself, but also to, help those that I can, even if it's just giving some type of instruction, I yield.
Okay, hallelujah. At least that was a reality conversation I need to, we all need to be, sharing these experiences because it's gonna be a reality check for you, as soon as it hits, like, and it's no I told you so's, but you gotta realize that if the Most High is using me in a time where we were at and thing where this has come out and it wasn't even the agenda, but now it's been the agenda for years though. But for it to come out now, it's like, and we see that we're really looking at our status across just amongst us. So we have to really just kind of, help, like we said, help each other through it. And because now is the time where it's really getting faster than us. So we gotta help with faster. Like you said, we know where plots of lands are. Aki is on the phone. Canuck, you on the phone, Aki? Salam alaikum. I see my got on there. I see on there. He got on there. Okay. Oh, we got a few more people on here. Got 13. Okay. It was only 8 when I looked last time.
All right, walaikum shalom. And shalom lachad, everybody.
Okay. Uzi on. Okay. All right. A few more people jumped on. Yermi out on. Okay. So anybody else? Would anybody talk to their family members, even their immediate family members, they teenagers, they Ishas, or anybody else? Is Azar on the phone?
Speaker, he said he wouldn't be on tonight, but
Okay.
also keeping his prayer. He got one of his brothers lost their iman this evening.
Okay.
Mm.
All right. Absolutely keep him in prayer. Okay. Because, he was one of the ones that has, I know they have a few weeks of food stores and everything. So I wanted to get any updates, talk to their family about it. Nobody else? Anybody picked up any maps?
So Don, I was discussing with my Isha after the study we had last week about when I was in Florida, before I learned how to use with the phone and the GPS and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I had used the map to find a shortcut to get to from Jacksonville to Jackson, Mississippi. I do some back roads, and one thing I also told her, it brought me memories back when I was operations specialist in the Navy for 12 years before I got forced cross rate to ABH on the flight deck, and one of my jobs was navigating on the maps. So we had to go on the map, navigating through the water, all the buoys and everything, so that if we get in that water, I know how to navigate us through that water. I tell you that, no.
That's what I'm talking about, Don. It's all about using these skills and understanding where we're gonna be at. I mean, the map is really something crucial because a lot of people are dependent on these smartphones, which is always good until that ain't no power, or until they jam the frequency, or until it's too many people and the lines are down. So then what are you doing? Because you're wasting time trying to get to your next location. And that's what we want to pick up this week at. We want to look at those next locations. Like, you know, how many of us are close enough to secure, and how many of us people know that you're going to be in the supportive role? Understand that certain people should realize they're going to be in the supportive role. That means you're going to be willing to have to be support. You're going to have to be hands on deck to try and secure lines of trade. You know, you're going to have to be as my brother brought out, well, you have to know your portion. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, like what's brought out there, if you don't know your portion, you start helping somebody else do their portion, and you'll figure it out quick. Most High show you some things. But we can't, you have to have the conversations at home. It's like, I'm surprised that we only had 2 conversations out of the people that was on last night with their conversations at home. Should have been everybody should have had a conversation after that conversation last week with their family members and with their youngsters, because what we waiting on? Something could have broke out in these last 7 days. We'd have had to start to a conversation with still no direction. I mean, this is a men's study. This is not for kids, right? So, question is, where are you going? Where are your assets at? Who's your closest member to you? Everybody on this phone. Who's the closest member to you? Start from the top. Sar, who's the closest member to you?
That would be Moreh Shamat.
Moreh Samat. Okay, so between you and Samat, who has the most property?
I think Moreh Shamat. I don't know how many acres his land is.
Okay, so then
I know I got 1.34 acres.
Okay, so you right there, y'all gonna be
Matter of fact, my closest to my, but he don't live down here in North Carolina, but he's building down there. Is Eliezer. So he kind of put a established building on his land out there in about 20 minutes from me. So yeah, he out of all us, he got the biggest. He got the biggest out of all us.
okay. So Eliezer, 20 minutes for you. All right. Shalomo.
Hey, Moreh. For me, it would be Shad and Uziel.
Shai to Uziel. Shai Shamar, you saying?
Okay.
Okay.
He's about maybe 20 minutes from me, and Uzi's about 38 minutes from me.
Okay, so Shai Shamar and Uzi, but okay, where is that? What y'all is that a place for y'all to bunker in? Who's got the biggest place? Or would y'all try to go to somewhere else?
I would assume we'd be going somewhere else. So
You know what I'm saying? You gotta have that property. If I'm going to get my brothers, that means cool. That means you got a brothers, y'all gonna have enough family, y'all gonna be strong enough to do something. You and Shai Shamar, that's you know what I'm saying? But then what about, who else is moving with that? Zach is in the middle is like is your mother, you know what I'm saying? Abba, your Imas move with y'all. Or they, you know what I'm saying, y'all moving on the road, like, you going to where you need to be at. Like those kind of conversations. See, it's not no those are conversations we need to be having with one another, you know. Shai Shamar.
Ken, so I'm assuming he's the closest. The next person will be Uziel. I have I don't have a house yet. I
Mm-hmm.
have a 2-bedroom apartment. I'm the only person here, but I was thinking more of like I wouldn't stay here, even though it's a pretty good neighborhood. You never really know. So, but yeah, it's definitely something that needs to be thought about more because I think everyone else that has property, they should get at least 2 hours or more away, or even 5 hours away. So, yeah, it's something that definitely needs to be talked about. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Uh, Baruch.
Hey, hey,
Who's the
Moreh.
closest? Okay, who's the closest one to you? Which way you going? Or is you, are you expecting to be the one that coming to?
I think well, Canute definitely the closest to me.
Uh-huh.
So probably concerning land as places where we immediately live. I would say I do, but then Canute got the more land. You know what I'm saying? Other areas, so it might be a situation where we meet and then we go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Kane don't got
More than likely, it would look something like that.
Kane don't got the property up there. Kane for where you can, you know what I'm saying, be an encampment. You know what I'm saying? Those type of things with more people that, you know what I mean? I see. I understand that. That's a great help y'all close. Uh, Jaquan, I guess you right there, Jay, in Kentucky.
Civilian wise, be Canuck, and then Baruch is like I think when I looked at my map last, what you about 40 minutes away out, Moreh Baruch, um, past past uh past Canuck's house.
I'm an hour past Canute.
An hour, okay, yeah. So those two would be the most closest to me. But
Yeah,
I think,
you the resource. You the resource, nephew. Don't trust me. You one of the resources. I understand what's going on. So
but as far as like places to go, if shit did hit the fan, I mean, I live on a military installation,
right,
so.
I already know. I already know. That's why I said for us to be you to be the resource. You be the closest one to that property up there. I got it. My Uzi.
Yes, sir. Shalom, shalom. Most likely, I'll be the closest to Shai, Shamar, and Shalom. And as far as your question, who has the bigger space?
Mm-hmm.
Probably Shai. But we don't really have a emergency action plan as far as evacuation or what we're going to do. That's something that we could probably talk about amongst ourselves. But that's all I have, Moreh.
Okay, perfect. That's so. That's what we need to know. Everybody needs to have this thought pattern, and I can't just leave it. I'm just polling everybody. I'm just going down the line. Canuck, yeah.
Okay, shalom though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jay
Well,
will be
we
the
are.
closest. Yeah, Jay will be the closest, and then Baruch.
And then you already have the resources, so they're gonna be coming to you. You're not gonna really be trying to go to them. They're gonna be happy to come get to you. That's one of the places they're gonna be happy to get to. So
Okay.
okay. Um let's see who's next. Yirmiyahu.
Shalom, Aki. Um, Shucks, I'm here in Charlotte, North Carolina, so I'll be heading south if anything. I don't know, brothers on the line is probably real far away, so I'll probably have to go to my brother EO or
Mm-hmm.
my brother Ezra the Scribe or
Mm-hmm.
some family out there in Shiloh. If I have to go north, I actually got my brother Moreh Yaya. Because these brothers are off the grid, they got the land too, which is good. But to your point though, just having a conversations with the men and having a actual plan. Definitely not in place as of yet, but it's something that needs to be had. I just told Moreh Yaya too when I saw him this past week that I gotta come check him out. He's out there. He's actually raising quails.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean he's already putting something in place as far as making sure that they have the mazon, the food out there
Mm.
on the land. So he's already thinking on that level. So it's just more motivation for me to follow up what I just told him last week. Go out there and sit down with him and really have these real conversations. So Torah.
All right, Kane, that's told me over. See, y'all now you just brought another asset to the table that's in somewhere where they off the grid and it's closer. It's in North Carolina. See, the next phase that we're gonna get to is understanding that even though my place might not be a place where we're gonna stand at, right? But my place might be like a place like Shad that's in a Tobe neighborhood, like you said. Maybe it's in a Tobe neighborhood and it's pretty multiracial. We can get some things going to be under the grid and they helping. That might be a good post for a trade line. See, some places are going to be good. So we're going to have a trade line that we're going to be able to get things up and from one place to the next place to help each other as well. You have to be thinking about these things as well. Like, so certain how will we plot these things? So it's about where you at on the map. That's where I'm at the end. That's what we're gonna go through. Okay, now where is everybody at on the map? Put yourself on a map, and now let's see what that looks like, and then we can see where is this at and where is this at? Where's Moreh and them things that is here? Just have we had a conversation with them? What if somebody is in refuge? What are they open to talk about? Like, you know what I'm saying? What are they gonna be saying? Would they be expecting people? What would they, But it's got to be a conversation about that first. So have to send your Yaladim somewhere, and they don't know nothing about it. So, got to have those conversations. Great, that was great. Okay, let me see who's next on here. Oh, a Hananyah.
Shalom, shalom. Morris Mark is closest proximity to me, maybe about 10 minutes.
Okay. So you're gonna be right there and support right there. And anything else? Anybody else around? Any other assets close besides Samat?
Trying to think of the next closest. You thought in terms of men or in general?
No, just in general.
That's a good one. I got to reach out more to see who's actually the next closest.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? In case you're away and you guys get to somewhere trying to get back to Samat, you know what I'm saying? So,
okay.
Have some other conversations with some people. We expecting you to be the social right there, but we're gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, always kind of think about it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Eliezer.
Shalom. I would have to say where I'm at in Suffolk, Virginia right now, Shlomo, Uzi, and Shire are the closest to me. But we are separated by the James River. But I would be closer down in North Carolina at my spot there with Uncle Bet. I did have a question though, like as far as like if you said making sure you have everything plotted on maps, what would your suggestion be as far as in case those maps get into the wrong hands, would you suggest having a duplicate set of maps as a dummy so they're not 100% sure which one is the accurate locations? That was just a question that I had.
Well, I think the maps, the way we would do it, wouldn't have a lot of a lot of information on it. So the maps that we have just about knowing how to read the map and getting from one coordinate to another. I wouldn't say that there would actually be, if there would actually be an actual map that was something we discussed beforehand, and I don't think that would be something we would pass out. So it'd be like knowing this is resources where I'm trying to plot right now, saying that we need to do this about leadership, and we all knowing we got to play a role. Everybody on this phone is within hours of each other and can actually build with one another. So we can it's men, and so I'm forcing the conversation of having a real conversation of how to survive and make it happen. Like no what ifs, no what else. We're not gonna leave it up to what if. We're gonna actually talk to people about it and get a plan and get a for sure this what is going to happen. And if this doesn't happen, I can get to here where some supplies is. Or if I need to start putting supplies up, I know I need to start putting supplies up at Canuck spot. I know I need to start putting supplies up in Samak spot. I need to start putting supplies up at Eleazar spot. I need to start putting supplies up where it's going to be secured, where nobody's going to be able to take them, because those spots will be the spots that's going to be needing support. If I ain't got no place to go, I ain't bringing nothing to them. I have to be in the soldiers. So the soldiers have to know they got to secure the storehouses. That's like a no brainer in security. That's like the, we're gonna have a whole another conversation when we talk about that part. But I'm just want us to get the main part about this. But you're right, we got it. We're definitely gonna be talking about securing not allowing people to know where our storehouses are and how we would be go about doing that. You know what I mean? Because it can't be public knowledge. So we would have to be doing things how I'm trying to promote privately and in the private. And then it can do it. We can do it. It's not a hard thing. It's actually about just believing that we need to do it and then start doing it. It only takes one little bit at a time. Somebody helping here, somebody helping there, and then we're prepared. And then when it happens, we're prepared. That's just the way I see it. There's no other way around it. There's no other way around it. Man. Let me see. Abidal. Let me get to the rest. I think we gotta get to the rest. I don't want to get everybody else in. We're gonna finish. Abidal.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you, Aki.
Yeah, well, the more closer I have is Moreh Samad.
Mm-hmm.
It's around maybe 25, 30 minutes. So, but most high will, it would be Hananyah. Maybe it would be like maybe 5.
Yeah, maybe 5 minutes down, not even 5. You're right. Right. No, we ever do. We speaking that into existence. That's a Imam said. It is, so it is. So we're gonna speak that. Don't worry about it. She already said it is, so it is. I don't know who this is that has the iPhone that has no name on here. I can't ask.
Hey, shalom, Akims.
Oh, that's my. Come on, man. Come on. The board
Oh, we
know me.
got the bishop online. Yo, the bishop in a place to be walking down the street one hot summer day. Oh man, don't get me started, man. Come on now, y'all provoking me. What's going on, homies?
Come on, Moreh. Who the closest one of you? I know they're gonna be trying to get to you, man.
Oh man, listen. I'm in a good spot. I'm in between Moreh Samag, Moreh Kanukia, my cousin Ezra Shalom. So man, I'm all over the place. But this is a good topic tonight, because I remember back in 2003, my Ima had a vision about preparing. And what she did left me, I'm sitting here counting coins. She left me about 10 coins from the 60s and 70s and 50s. And they're worth a lot of money. She said, son, save these coins, because you might just need them to travel with when all hell break out. And I still have these coins today. She put one on the market before she passed, and this white guy wanted to give her this $3,000 for one. Just one coin. So, again, I got these coins for us. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saving myself, but for us. So I still got them.
That's absolutely awesome, Moreh.
Sir.
We need to we're gonna talk about that a little bit before I was gonna get off. We're gonna go into that part where we talk about the freedom we need to be financially free. And having certain things and creating private trust so that we can maintain our valuables, even our land, so yeah, y'all know where Moreh the warden is. He's in Raleigh, so and he connected to everybody down there, so we know where he's at. And then that was you on there. Who else I didn't get? Samak. We already know that you the rock right there. Anybody else I didn't ask? Did I get everybody? Sorry, did I get everybody?
Canada don't. That was everybody.
Okay. All right. So now it took us a minute just to get through that conversation, but we need to see how that conversation is going to feel and have that real conversation. No people going to really run to hear that, or they really want to go into the next thing. You know, the worst person is to get is the person that want to start talking about doctrine. So you think it's the end times right now? No, it's just not what I'm trying to talk about. I'm preparing for a hard road ahead that the Most High has always won every war we was in. But I'm preparing for the road because I've been called to as a watchman to prepare and tell the people to prepare. They don't prepare, it's on them. But I got to do what I got to do. You know? So we have to know that it's no time to procrastinate with talking to your family about it, like for real. Like next Tuesday, we need to have everybody say, yes, I had a conversation with my Isha. I had a conversation with my family members. I had a conversation with my teenage kids so they can understand that they need to get to me or there's a plan on where we would go. Because chaos will overcome you through lack of preparation. Okay, we need to be a cod with this thinking amongst us as men, especially on this line. We have to be a cod with this thinking. We can't let it slip around. Mention it to them. You'll be surprised. Some of the women, when we was talking about that emergency thing, we had more sisters asking me questions than men. That bothered me. Because we had more sisters asking questions than men. And we have to get past that prideful thing. I told y'all right now, my course is plotted out. I'm trying to get back to y'all. I got a small fortress for anything that we have to get to LA. Boom, it's always a small little fortress. We're in the middle of my community. Anybody can come in here. It's already a pass. My area is secure. I can go and be gone in a drop of a hat. And if anybody need to be in that place, they can go right to my place. Boom, and it's gonna be supplies there, and it's gonna be in a secure area, and ain't nobody gonna be messing with them, and they're gonna be able to breathe from there. They're gonna get some instructions. So now here it's set up. For me, my family gone now. That's how I know it's time. My family gone. My spot is secured. There's 50 pounds of lentils in there. It's 50 pounds of garbanzo beans over there. Got about 50 pounds of rice. Got about maybe a case of cleaning stuff. You know, it's few tools, few solar panel things that can create some power. Got a water filter. Got a lot. Got a just for the little setup for me not even gonna be here. Bro,
Hey,
can you hear me?
Yeah, Sligo, let me add something to what you were saying, Adon.
Go ahead, though.
I think I shared it with Jaquan one time. Right. It was something that I read in my studies, and it said that what was Israel's greatest enemy? Right. What was their greatest enemy throughout the history of the Tanakh? Throughout the history of known history that we know, what was their greatest enemy? And this feed right into what you talking about. Their greatest enemy was urbanization and the comfort that the cities, that Babylon, that these handouts they give you, right? When Israel always was a people, first and foremost, the Tanakh is going to teach you that is our primary purpose of going into the wilderness wasn't per se to establish Israel or anything. It was to connect with our creator outside of the confines of things that keep our senses dull and our ruach suppressed and the ruach of Yah suppressed. The moment you step outside of that, you know what I'm saying, you get back to what's natural. And we talk about it in a term where it sounds like preparation, but it's natural. It's unnatural to expect your enemy to feed you and to educate you.
Right.
And to give you shelter. That is what's unnatural. So that's just what I want to add to that, something that I came across.
Absolutely. We had a lesson came out that was right on this line right there where we was talking about, I think that might have been Baruch brought it out. So my one of them brought up about being a temporary. I think that was you, Marie, about this temporary thing that was, you know what I'm saying? You know, the whole idea of being a Sukkot is preparing. We never reached until we don't get that into that final part, but everything it should be making you you know what I'm saying, prepare. Even this body is preparing. It's not permanent. So it should be teaching you to look for the permanent. You know what I'm saying? With this thing is not permanent. So absolutely on that line. Yeah. We have to do it, man. We have to. The maps. Okay, I'm gonna go back over these things. I'm gonna just chop on this thing. Okay, the maps are necessary. I'm giving us some things to do. So everybody should have this on their thing map. Get a map, find out where you are, put places on the maps where everybody else is, see how close, who's crossing which highways actually can lead into what will be taken, which is alternate highways that we might can find between everybody. You know, once everybody has their maps where everybody's on their map, then we can actually get with, you know, each other or Jay and help and the men that actually look at the maps and say, listen, okay, so this is what everybody is at. There's routes in here. These would be the ideal routes to be taken. This would be the ideal routes that would be taken. This would be the route just in case this doesn't happen, you know, just in case, like you said, we can't cross this bridge and we need to go this way. So those type of things are what you need to be looking at. And we trying to make sure we can get from point A to point B. You know, also look on these maps. I think the best thing that I've heard on this phone so far is that we don't really have, nobody has to cross into a blue state to so it won't be easy. It won't be hard for transportation between those states. You know, if we have people coming in from other states like Ohio, New York, Jersey, all those are blue states. And so when people come down from there, there are going to be issues. Or us trying to get stuff to there is going to be issues that you're going to have to think about. You know, or we have to get from, like I'm saying, from the north all the way to the south, and we have to get down there. And we gotta have to go through some issues going through those blue states, and we gotta make those will be the states that we have to really be worried about what we doing and how we doing it in. We got the best thing going for all the red states is most of them are all common law right now, are going back to the constitutional law, which makes it common law, and we have what will be within our rights to move around. Okay. Questions about that? Anybody have any questions about that, or have any understanding, or have any family members you think about that we'll be having to get to, or we trying to, that has supplies or has land that's outside of Virginia and North Carolina and South Carolina? Got Siram got some acres in Georgia, so I do. I know someone in Georgia. I actually know 3 people in Georgia with property. I gotta find out exactly where the other 2. Like I've never been on the land, but I've talked to them before, so I don't know how that is. And Jaquan, are you in Kentucky? Is that where the Pastor McDowell's place is, or is that in Tennessee?
Let me see. I went to his land in 2019. I forget what city it was in, honestly, but it was Kentucky. It was like right on the border of Kentucky and Tennessee.
Okay.
But nah, he not. You just can't pull up to his spot. No, I ain't gonna lie to you. It takes minutes to get on there.
And that's what I wanted you to bring out, because people need to understand that. Like, you can't just pull up to people's properties like that. They're not going to be, inviting in there. Like it's all Israel. Like, okay, there going to be some things, because and definitely if there's no prior conversation to that.
Yeah, they're not really open like that. I'll be honest. If you ain't never been there, it is like never mind. I ain't gonna speak no ill on it, but it's just different. It's keep
No,
tour.
it's couture to the way he wants it done. I understand. It's no
Yeah.
it's no ill real on this, speaking the truth on how it is. That's just how it is. And these
I
times.
speak on that too, Moreh, when you get a chance.
Huh? Go ahead, Adon.
I want to speak on that too, real quick. And sometimes what we look at that people are doing is negative is not necessarily negative, because what he has set up is also positive. So what we're talking about now, they've been doing for quite some time, and people have put in, they've done the things we've built, we've done these things, and we've also extended and said we will help you with your community, or you can help us. And so when it hits the fan, don't come running here, and it's understood. You know what I'm saying? So it's not even that it's a negative, because we even have to start putting certain things in place also. Just like the incident we had at Sukkot, we had a little minor incident at Sukkot. We also have to start vetting the people who will be welcome, because certain people don't need to know certain things that we have going on. And so like the conversation we're having tonight, praise be to the Most High, we can have it, but sometimes we even need to monitor who we have these type of conversations around, because we don't want some people to know. And so like you said, we can't just pull up, and though we're all Israel, some Israel is not righteous Israel. So they will pull up with that same wilderness hunger, as Moreh Canuck said, that panic whenever they get into that panic mode, and that panic gets real, and they've conditioned to storehousing, eating a certain amount, and you have greedy people that just want to come take. So it's a reason for that, and we got to start seeing that as well. Like there's just like with Noah and the ark. We would, hey, let's build the ark, come get on the ark, come help with this. And if you didn't help with this, don't run here when the time hits, when we've been trying to ask. And I know Pastor Dow has said on several platforms, he's even said to me personally, like, whatever help you need, he will help people. And he also said, y'all do the same thing we're doing here, but we have a vetting process, and we're not looking for people to come here. We're looking to help others do what we're doing here. So we don't take that and try to start patterning and fashioning and preparing now. Like Moreh Canuck was just saying, we're so used to these handouts, and everybody just thinking nothing will happen. And so a lot of people don't even like to keep Sukkot the way that we do, because they don't want to come out of those comforts. So we have to start doing things. And so sometimes what we look at is negative. It's an order, it's a structure that is actually needed. So I just want to share that as well.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, it was.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was trying to say I wasn't trying to like speak negative. It was just he vetted me for a while just to be able to come there. He vetted me through himself, through like you can hear him sometimes speak about um dang it, what's their ministry? Straightway. So Straightway Clarksville. Like I've been to that house too, where I would keep I kept a couple Shabbats over at their house. There, they do things a little different. First day I met them, they washed my feet at the doorstep. And I ain't met these dudes like it was. I've never met these guys, but the first time I met them, it was all love and stuff. And they run it real strict. Um, but yeah, everybody got their stuff built up. People just gotta look towards the future. I have a lot of food in my storage at home. At home, it's a lot of rice and beans and a lot of seeds I have. But yeah, it takes this. I mean, ever since I feel like I've came to the knowledge of Torah, it's always the conversation, but it's never no movement. And I think it needs to be movement, like instead of just talking. So I think this call is good.
All right, hallelujah. All right. Anybody else? All right. While we on this call, certain things we will talk about, certain things we wouldn't talk about on other calls that we spoke about. So now, mapping is important. Getting your kids to understand that they might need to use a map is definitely important. Okay. We have to have a clear understanding of direction, of which direction to go if it's a panic. And we have to have real discipline in understanding that we need to help one another in getting it done. Meaning, please don't wait for somebody else to reach out to you. Like, oh, I was thinking somebody was going to call me. No, we just had a phone conversation about who's closest to who and who's closest to what. So the conversation should be already starting. It should be going on. Well, if you're going to be coming this way or we're going to be doing this, we got this going on. We put this over here for this purpose. We need to be having this thought for this purpose. Understand this. That's another thing about preparation, because everybody ain't going to be to carry everything. Some things need to be advanced. Like some things need to be advanced. Some places we know can handle the storehouses, Other places that we have, maybe not so much right now, but there are plots of land that we need to know that we need to secure, and it's all hands on deck. And we need to talk to the people that's our neighbors who we talking about we gonna go to. Like, we talking about, if you talking about you had to go to somebody else's house, you need to have a conversation with them. You need to not show up empty-handed. You need to put some preparation up in that household where you might be going to. So, I go, hey, I'm about to send a 25-pound bag of beans and rice over there to the house. They're going to deliver it. Just put that in the storage for me. Or just towards the household, what, just in case. I'm on the just in case thing. It's a storehouse needed. Where are we going? Ammunition. We talked about that last time. Okay. I don't even want to get into that. I really want to focus on the food and the whereabouts of what you're going to eat and who brings understanding where we're going to be at. Or understanding where everybody's trying to get to. Shlomo he put one of the radios, the Baofangs radio, in the group chat. Did everybody see that in the group chat?
Yes.
Eliarza with the thumbs up. I'm hearing everybody else did. If you didn't, then you didn't get it, and then you need to check the group chat so that you can see it, because you need to get on there. Okay, because that ball thing is good, especially for the new ones they have, or the newer ones that they came out with. I still have the older ones, the newer ones that they came out with, that work on lower frequencies, and so you don't got to get to so much high ground. Like the first ones, you have to get to a lot of high ground in order to get the signals bouncing. But we need to have an alternative radio system, and that would be a great one for everybody to have, since we would all have it together. What's that you put in there, Key? Stokermatic? Is that a website, or is that like
YouTube channel? It's a retired military guy. He makes excellent videos on damn near everything for real when it comes to just being outdoors. It's a good channel to go follow, just to learn from how other people are doing it. There are a lot of other channels I got, just sharing that one. That one's really good.
Okay. Like if we can pick up any information like that, where you're seeing how you would have to use these radios and think about them in different types, because you need to understand, man, the cell phones are not going to be working like you think they're going to be working. I want y'all to know that your cell phones are not going to be working like you think they're going to be working. And everybody's going to panic. You have to be prepared. You have to be the ones that y'all's using to actually be the light between you and your family, so that you and your family can help the bigger family. You have a lot of Yaladim that need protection. We have to talk about vetting anybody, the ones so Moreh Canuck and Moreh Samat, Moreh Baruch, Ak Eleazar, just on this phone call right now, all four of y'all need to be on the same conversation on what's going to be the vetting of people that you allow to come to you. Like, what type of vetting would you have in place yourself? What type of emergency plans do we have in action? I asked you all last time, has anybody picked up from where I left off about my children having an emblem, basically an emblem, a family emblem or something I gave them, that I only shared with, a couple of people, so that they'll know if my kid had to get to them, that they could get to, that was my kid in case I wasn't there or something happened to me on the way. Only because I don't have everything in one spot. I don't have all my eggs in one spot. But I trust all of you on the line with my children. So I already know, they they're in good hands. I gotta still do what I have to do to try and make sure we all prepared. So I'm put that on your mind. Because people are gonna be coming for your refuge. What if somebody comes to you and say, man, I'm such and such a kid, and they really are really the bad one that we ain't really supposed to be giving nothing to, because they about to try and set us up to get robbed. And what's the plan? Smart, Canuck, what's the plan? In your state of home, you gotta have a sergeant at arms. Somebody gotta be staying there at all times with the supplies. Somebody gotta be out with artillery, with some guns. for protection. And we got to have lines of communication for help. That's why Ishas can come in line. But the women are good for communicating. This would be a good question for the Ishas. What's the line of communication they have set up with other women in case of emergency? So that we might not know who it is, but they would know, such and such is over here. And such sisters over here, they got this. And such and such, they have this stacked up. There's some pies over there. They cook over there. They got food supplies. They ain't got no milk. They got some over there. That's something that our women need to be helping with too. Since they talk to each other, they got women's studies and they got women's group and they got a EMA group and so all these conversations need to spill into them groups. Otherwise, we're not taking it serious. We're taking it. We letting it be. We letting our part as protectors fall by the wayside if we don't get them ready or start talking to them. How about that? We're not doing our job as being protectors if we don't tell them or prepare them or even empower them to help, to do something. Some of them might be they calling. That might be something they really want to do. They are some of our best organizers. We got checklists sent out. Everybody got their checklist. Everybody got this. They got this. Well, everybody knows how to do this. Everybody got their checklist. Such and such this. They're great at these type of things. We've got to empower them to start to have these type of conversations amongst each other on who's going to do what because they got to fall in line. Now, the conversation we don't have with them is the conversations of what's at the storehouse, who's protecting the storehouse, how many people going to be at the storehouse, or we got no, we don't talk about them type of things with the women. But we do need to use wisdom to empower our sisters to help because we're going to have a lot of sisters that actually are a blessing to us. The sister, what was her? What's the sister? The sister who was a pastor. Somebody I keep thinking, can't put her name. Ima. Adon. Somebody. What's the sister's name?
I believe you're talking about Akoti Willing.
Akoti Willing, right. She got 6 acres, she said up there. 5-6 acres of land. Now she got 5-6 acres of land and some farming stuff growing on land, something she got growing on land, but we need to, somebody need to talk to the sister, you know what I'm saying, and find out where that asset is. It might be some valuable for some assets to be stored or actually some growing thing where we can, secure it. We don't know where that location is and where it would look like on a map, because it's where it looks like on a map is what's important. In case you got to move from one spot to another. Or send people to one spot because everybody can't be at Samak. So we have to move a few people to a better place where they can have spread out. They can do this and they can do that and they'll be there. We got to do that, but we have to have at least talks about it, and with our women, who would the sister let have that? Who would she be dependent on to help her with that 5-6 acres? Who would she be? That would somebody just come and overrun her land and just take it from her? What I mean? What would we do? That's what just type of thoughts that really need to be having. Second thing is that we, just getting to the know-how part of it, okay, is we have to become free. You have to start to set up trust for all your, whatever you have. If it's property, if it's coins, if it's cars, if it's house, whatever it is, gold, whatever you think is valuable, you need to put it all in a private trust. If you don't know, if everybody don't know how to do it, or if one person on his phone has done it and knows how to do it, that means we all can do it, and we all would know how to do it just by that one person. Okay? These are the things that must be talked about and must be done. Okay? Leadership. Leadership, if you're leading, you guys are going to be the ones that are leading. You have to get with me and discuss about immediately becoming a 508. You have to immediately talk to me about this so that you can start that process. It's just immediately started. And we can work on the rest, but you got to immediately start to get something into the private. And you're going to immediately need to get rid of some of these public contracts that you're under. Okay, it's nothing but a phone conversation. It's a sharing of a link to experts that can, have all the essence. Everything is at our resource. Everything is at our resource. Everybody doesn't have the proper things that we kind of would need, but we do, because I have it. So if I have it, we all have it. Right now, if anything happened to anything was on this phone, I would be saying all that would be part of my ministry, and I'll be calling on the same international documents, the same kings, the same IGOs that I would need to actually come and support us and give us the backing to leverage this government to get us free, or to let us go, or to do whatever we need to do, because we're being attacked. The idea is I need to get everybody on the same way. But it's a start. If you don't know what it is, it's easy. It's a tax code. You can look it up right on the IRS.com. It's a tax code. Matter of fact, hold on, let me show you. Hold on. Mine should be right here somewhere. I have to give it out every time. Whenever I'm showing it, whenever I go show my ministry, I'll just print one out from the IRS. Because most people, banks, people that work IRS, that work for your state tax, they don't know what they want. They don't know about being in the private. Everything they do is public. So when you start talking to 508 ministry, they're not going to know what you're talking about. You'll have to show them what the tax code is so that they can understand that it's okay. That it is a, tax exempt church. It's a church, though. And we need to exercise those freedoms that come with having the ministry or being a church yourself. And I'm speaking as a legal term. To become free, you have to become the church yourself, which every person on this line should already know that they are. But now you don't know the steps to take to make it be acknowledged and to actually live in it. Like, lawfully live in it. and be recognized lawfully living in it. So again, leadership, I expect for leadership to at least look into it and at least acknowledge that that's something that they need to understand more about and try to get the more knowledge you need, because people are dependent on you. You're leading people. And so it's knowledge that will help you, not hinder you, but will help you. The idea is, for me, it's like we had a great teaching in Sukkot, Isaiah 58. But if we really understood about that, and that real eye open is breaking that yoke, break every yoke. It's the things we have to do that the Most High asked us to do. Do stuff for the poor. Prepare so that you can do things for the poor. Prepare so that you can have a piece of clothing to hand out to those that's naked. But the breaking of every yoke is the part that I'm talking about. The breaking of the yoke is a command for all of us. Means every part of your mind at some point needs to be thinking about how to defeat the oppressor. If you call yourself living as a servant of Yah, says this is what he asked for. We have to break those yokes. It's yokes that are on us. Yokes of uneducated, yokes of educating towards someone else's goal. Meaning we got educated, but we got educated in a way that kept us unaware and kept us working for someone else. And kept us in the not knowing and in the unpowerful. But we have to break every yoke. That's why I'm on it and mention it like I'm telling you. We have to break those yokes. We have to be talking to each other. We have to ask one another, how can it be done? Let me do this. If you know, you need consultation, pay for the consultation so that you can understand it, and then you can help others be free. Get in the books. It's really all in the books. What I learned is something, nobody tell you something, you don't have to learn it to actually use it, to actually apply it. If you don't learn it, there's somebody can tell you this is what to do, and you're going to do it. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know why you did it. You don't know why you're taking these steps and who you're going to leverage. You have to know these things. You want to be free. You want to immediately be detached from a government that is who you're supposed to be in charge of. The first minister said, we the people. You have to go back to being the people. Even in Torah, when Yah gave his commandments and his thing, it still had to be a we the people, except it still had to be the we the people. So the process, it shouldn't be new to us if we call ourselves in Torah. We have to be the people. We have to acknowledge our ways and learn the ways to help continue to break the yokes that they have on us. Submission. I don't know these things, but I will go and sit at the foot of younger men that know these things or will teach me something so that I will learn it so that I can actually teach others. The person that's teaching me is younger than me, but he believes in me as a person that would, as somebody who feels is genuine enough that if I make sure he gets it, he's going to make sure he frees the people with it. And so it's been, I can't let, don't worry about it. You're not going to fail out. Don't worry about everything. Don't worry about it. That's the Most High's favor for sure. But it's still, I don't want to let nobody down by getting something that I can't actually help anybody else with. That's the purpose. That should be our purpose in these things of preparation so that we can understand how many others we're going to help, how much yoke you're going to break by making sure you're prepared. How much will you relieve the poor? How much will you relieve of the naked? How much will you relieve of being the oppressed? How many yokes will you be able to take off someone's neck? The biggest yoke I'm trying to take off our neck, everyone's neck, is being an employee of the United States Corporation and falling under those employee manual books and start to become the private American who can actually control the public side and not public side, not have no control over it. We need unity in thought, meaning unity in, we're waiting on unity in some type of magical form where that we talk about it amongst each other, and we really know that no one is going to see. Each one is going to walk it out differently, but as long as you're trying to walk out the same path, it's the same Torah for every one of us, but we're trying to get to it the way best we know how. It's the same with this. Everyone has to do their part. The unity has to become in us being a kind and saying we're going to talk to one another and we're going to look at these and see who has what. That was a great thing that when Jaquan and Slomo started a conversation, they got a conversation. Okay, well look, we're going to talk to the people and see who doesn't have stuff. So you can tell us, oh, you know what? In my bag, we missing yada yada yada, and we missing yada yada yada, and they be like, okay, well, we know where these supplies, and we're gonna try and help you get your supplies up before it hit the fan. That's one of the biggest helps anyone can have. Just that thought process of them two. It takes more than them two to do it, but just that being the first step of saying, okay, we're gonna have a line of help. We're gonna have a line of help for those that need it. So that's a big plus, because the thought process is already breaking the yoke of somebody not having it, trying to get them prepared so that they can be so that they would be less panicked. Like, so we have to do that. How many of us is going to be that with who's less panicked? How can you help them prepare the next person? How are you going to be able to instill, preparedness in your group that people coming to you, or you have to take a group of people to safety? Where are you going for safety? So I don't want to go too long. We've already been on here a little over an hour and some change, so I want to try and give us a little break, and we can, I want to try to have next week, I want to try and look at the maps and see who's on the map. So that means this week we got a lot of homework between each other on making sure you know where you are and making sure you know where everybody else is on a map within your own house. Like, this person is here, this person is here, this person is here. Okay? With that, I digress so we can open the floor up.
Hey, shalom, Don. I think Shy had his hand up early. Shy, you still had a question you had early?
Can't well, it was more like a statement, but I guess it could be a question as well. Because I'm still in my 20s, so I was in school in 2025, but I was thinking about Hurricane Katrina, and I was young when it happened. I wasn't gonna pay that much attention to it, but I believe it was early this year. I was watching videos, and I was surprised at all the stuff that went on during that time. The rapes, the murders, the looting, even how the police conducted themselves. The police were basically going through people's doors and taking their weapons and breaking them right in their face. And I remember there was like one neighborhood, yeah, we take care of our people, no one can get through. And those people that we did were trapped in the neighborhood, and those people got through, they want to get shot. Some people did get shot and died, you know. And I didn't know it was that bad. People just talking about damage of water, and the winds. But I don't remember that much talk about the crime in the area. But but all praise to Most High, that I did the research on the videos, and I was thinking, you know, something like that can easily happen again. But I was thinking it's going to be a lot worse now because people nowadays, more you have less. The mindset that I would say is more wicked now than it was during that time. So it's just something I wanted to put out there. Right here.
Okay. Somebody else? I can't see hands, so if you just open your mic and speak, I don't know who's. Okay, well, I guess nobody have anything. All hearts and minds.
Great meeting again at Dawn. We just need to actually get into the planning. And as Jaquan was saying earlier, and I think as a lot of us on this call, we have been trying to prepare some things, but really start putting the action in and putting forth the work, and start coming up with these plans, and being more productive each week. And every time we come together to have these discussions, that things that are asked, we've at least attempted to do. So take it very seriously and stop, just taking everything as spiritual. Like the church has made us docile, just thinking all we have to do is have faith, and we shall be delivered. Whereas then we read all throughout the Torah and Tanakh where there was always something that Israel had to do, and there was certain preparation and provisions that we still had to physically make. So, in the Torah was to give us the mindset of the heart to learn how to dwell together and how to love one another and how to do all the things you're saying, to have hours and also be able to be there to sustain the poor. And these conversations have to be held with our children as well as our nashim, because men mindset is one thing, but also to get them to be on board with understanding that we're not only stocking up for ourselves, but to also be a help to others, and just to fulfill what's written in Torah. So I just think it's really time for us to start living it more than we talk it. So great presentation again, and thanks for the encouragement.
I think that I really would try to encourage everybody to have the conversation with your family. I mean, for real. Like, that's the most important thing. It's not going to be easy for you to turn your back on your family or figure out how fast, and y'all forbid that it's not no type of emergency where you have to just leave right away or anything like that. But being unprepared is the worst thing, and being worried about a child, not when this child is, and then that might make you make bad decisions right on down the line, because you're gonna lose all your train of thought and all your things are going out the window because you're trying to search for your Yaladim. You don't know where they're at. You don't know who their friends are. And so you in a bad situation because you didn't have no conversation with them, and you don't know that they know where you're supposed to be going. Well, that's the main thing, because they need to know that my parents are not going to be there, and if they would be leaving there, they would be going to this next spot. That would let you be able to move freely, knowing that your Yaladim know they didn't make it to the house in time. I was going for safety. I was moving their mom, their emails or whatever they, you know what I'm saying? I was moving everything to safety. We was getting to the safety spot. So it's best for them to try and reach me or get to the next spot, and they know that we'll all be at this safety spot where we'll be at, where they can come to and they can have safety. That's a conversation that needs to be had to a train of thought, because you never know which somebody else they might run into that their parents had a conversation with them. Now they become a stronger team amongst people in their age group that's going to be panicking. So, Most High is awesome. Most High will use our Yaladim that's been in this truth for a while to be leaders in times like this as well. So help prepare your young leaders by talking to them about these things. Having this conversation with your family is necessary, please. Thank you again, Moreh. Just wanted to, it's just something I think we really just, I don't mean to seem harsh or anything. Hopefully everybody knows this is just my passion. I'm in love. And I just want us to, take it seriously, because it is very serious. It's very, very serious. The times are monsters, and the enemy is ideas. Understand, the enemy is the idea. The enemy still wants you to be enslaved under the yoke of a corporation. That's an enemy. The
Moreh,
enemy.
one thing when you get finished too.
Yeah. Go ahead, Don. I'm done. I was just trying to say, we got to just be ready. I'm really just done.
Oh yeah, and like the motivation you send with our family. I know that a lot of our family is not in the truth, and sometimes it's not just going to them with the truth, but now it's like prime time or great opportunity to present it, because just what's going on in Israel. A lot of them watch the news, and so you can present it to them in a way like at least that you're making preparations. Also, like with them, they may not be in the truth, but try to prepare them. Like Moreh Hananyah had us doing down in Sukkot, like if these elders see these things going off and it cause these panic, stop doing it to your glasses. To start at least preparing them so they have their houses prepared if anything. And I know, for the longest that my Isha has been wanting me to set up a meeting with her family. We were trying to figure out how to set it up just for me to try to talk to them, on their level, to get them to just be aware of things and trying to make proper preparations just in life in general, and to come to the Most High and to stop taking life as everything's all right. So we do need to have these discussions with our family. And when you kept saying about the family, I was just thinking about even, in my community now, like, it's plenty of family around me, like in walking distance. A lot of you've been here. And one of the things I was thinking was a lot of the homes is just like a great aunt or someone, or someone they're older now and their children are either gone, their husbands are passed, and they're in big houses by themselves. So to even talk to them about preparation, as well as understanding that even with what we have going on, if things hit, would they be willing to? You may not be in the walk, but you're going to need certain safety and protection also. But we may actually need rooms and room and board, like place for people to dwell, and and by you opening up your home to that, that's something that I may be trying to present, at the right times to them, like, hey, we gonna come, we're gonna protect you and everything, but we just need places for others to dwell, because like I said, my community where I'm at is just pretty much all family, where we do have, some strangers that moved around now, but the majority is still family, and with quite a bit of land each, but some of them are just older people that's in homes. They don't believe like us, but y'all have the space and the land and the property. Like, would you be willing to, so that's just something that, it provoked in my thought, that when you were saying talk to the family, that I'm going to be thinking about doing as well. So, Toda again, Moreh, Toda again for the motivation.
Yep. You said something powerful. You got to talk to the people that's not in the walk. Understand, you're gonna have assets that the Most High is gonna bring to you. The Most High told Israel to ask the Egyptians for something when they was leaving out going to the wilderness. The scripture I brought up to you last week about 1 Samuel, I looked in there, I brought it about the Philistines, but it said the Hebrews helped the Israelites. So here it is, they're talking about Israel, so some Hebrews that's not Israelites, right? So these people is not Israelites, but they Hebrews, and they was actually a help in this war. So I brought that out for that same purpose. Like, we may not know somebody in your family. I can tell you right now, my brother's a Jehovah's Witness. But it's a Jehovah's Witness is who has one of my points right there in Arizona for me to get out of California and get right to him, to his little spot. They good. He don't have no problem with me trying to get him to understand of why I chose his spot, everything. But he's not, he's a Jehovah's Witness. But it's what we need, is what the Most High moved in him. He said, sure, and that's what it was. So you never know. I'm glad you brought that up, Moreh, because you just don't know. Anybody else?
Tell her about for your time, and we'll say bless and keep you, and bless and keep us.
Hallelujah. Are you closing us out? Or are you closing us out? Or are you having shot?
If Uzi others in position, see if Uzi can close us out.
Well,
I don't be at work, I'm not sure.
Hey, Uzi, you're in position to close out. Tough loud done.
I'm still at work, out of need.
Okay, yeah, he's still at work. We'll form the other occupants can do it, please.
Okay, no problem. All hearts and minds clear. Abanawa Shemaya, without Sayashim, our Father which art in heaven, said appropriate your name, to the Rabbi for giving us time to discuss preparation. I ask that you may forgive me, forgive us for anything that we have done against you to your face, any of our sins, any of our transgressions, and any iniquity. And I ask that you may fill us with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and please teach us how to apply it to this world, to the times that we are living in now. And I ask that you may purge us from any procrastination, from any slothfulness, any confusion. But I've asked that you may order our steps, lead us in the righteous path for your name's sake. And I've asked that you may help us with the areas that we are weak in, for you know the things that we struggle with. But I've asked that you may build us up so that we may be strong, righteous men before your face. And I've asked that you may strengthen Israel, your people, across the four corners of the arrest this earth. And I've asked that you may build us up to esteem your name, for your name does not get esteemed enough. I've asked that you may protect us from our enemies across the four corners of this earth, and also even protect us from ourselves, protect us from our own vain thoughts. I've asked that you may wash our mind and ask that we will not be brainwashed by the propaganda of this world. But I've asked that you may teach us how to be set apart, not only with our appearance, but also within our heart. And I've asked that in the day of wrath, that we may be spared, not by our righteousness. I've asked that for your name's sake. I've asked that you may give us an opportunity to continue to build up our righteousness, to be as righteous as possible. And now, if we are not on the path of righteousness, I've asked that you may spare us and give us time to get on the right track. For your word says that your mercy endures forever and ever. But I will also ask that you may give us a wise mind so that we will not see a mercy as an opportunity to sin or as an opportunity to continue in vanity. I've asked that you may order our steps. Let your name be esteemed in all that we do and all that we say. Protect the Akim that are on this call and those who are not on this call. Even protect the women. the elderly and the children. Protect each and every household. Purge out the evil. Please be merciful upon us. Please remember that we are flesh and we are dust. Please remember that we are sick and pass away. And I will ask again that if we are not on the righteous path, I will ask that for your name's sake, that you would be merciful upon us. Give us the opportunity to get on that righteous path as soon as possible. I will ask that you may hear this test of this prayer for me in your will, and ask that you may wake us up for me in your will, and give us the strength to do what is right, not only in the secrets of our home, but also in the midst of your people. Blessed you are, Yahweh. Blessed is your name, Yahweh. And bless all those who come in the name of Yahweh and truth. Amen, amen, Selah.
Selah. Salah. Why me? Yeah, I appreciate you all, Akim. I really do. I appreciate you all. Everybody's time. Hope I'm motivating everybody. You know.
Told down coming on, having that discussion.
After next week, we're gonna give it a break. We're doing a part 3, and that's it. We're gonna start going from there, and the rest is we're gonna try and talk about do another lesson.
Okay, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get off because I won't get no trouble. I think I'm get my big brother to do it after part 3. His name meaning support.
Yeah.
My Moreh.
Well, somebody's gonna need me to get some Hebrew class so I know who you're talking about. I hear what you're putting down, though. I hear what you're putting down.
You hear him up. You hear him up.
Yeah, I hear him, though. I hear him.
Yeah, you get his setup game.
Yeah, he rolls right into it, don't he?
Right.